1954. A house in Indiana. Summer. The screen door is latched and the crickets have started. A mother carries a child down the hallway. The child's head is against her shoulder. She is humming something low and formless. No monitor on the nightstand. No sound machine plugged into the wall. The bedroom is dark except for the hallway light cutting a stripe across the floor. The child is asleep before she reaches the crib. These are 15 tricks that 1950s mothers used to get their children asleep in minutes. Every one of them worked, and every one of them vanished, not because they failed, but because they could not be sold. Number 15. The warm bath right before bed. Children got a warm bath every night at the same time, not for cleanliness, for sleep. A bar of ivory soap, 5 cents, a few inches of water in a porcelain tub. No bubble bath. Mr. Bubble would not exist until 1961. The water tested with the elbow, never the wrist, the towel draped over the radiator to warm it. Johnson's baby powder dusted across the shoulders afterward. 15 cents a tin. Bath, towel, powder, pajamas. 10 minutes start to finish. The body temperature drops after a warm bath. That drop signals the brain to produce melatonin. A 2019 meta-analysis confirmed this. Those mothers did not know the mechanism. They knew the result. She did not need a study. She had a bathtub and a clock, but the bath was only the beginning. What she did with the bedroom itself was the real trick. Number 14. The dark, cool room. Children's bedrooms were kept dark and cool. No nightlight. Sometimes just a thin stripe of hall light under the door and nothing more. Heavy cotton curtains, sometimes lined with old blankets pinned to the back. No central air. The window cracked open even in October. The bedroom was the coolest room in the house because it sat farthest from the kitchen stove. The sound of wind through a window screen. Not the half-glow of a modern bedroom with charging lights and standby screens. True dark. Sleep researchers now recommend 65 to 68 degrees and total darkness. They present this as a discovery. It was the default in every farmhouse and bungalow in America. Darkness was not a product. It was what happened when you turned off the light. Number 13. The bedtime that never moved. Bedtime was the same time every single night. 7:30, 8 o'clock. No negotiation. No exceptions except Christmas Eve. A Westclock's kitchen clock on the wall. $3.95 at the hardware store. Father pushed his chair back from the table. That was the signal. Dishes cleared, bath drawn, pajamas on, teeth brushed. In bed. The phrase 5 more minutes existed, but it did not work. Not because the parents were harsh, because they were exhausted. She did not set a bedtime. She set a clock inside her child's body. The clock was set. The room was dark. But the next trick is one nobody talks about because it happened in the silence. Number 12. The hum that was not quite a song. Mothers hummed, not a lullaby with words, not a melody a child could name or request. A low, formless sound that came from the chest. The vibration traveled through the sternum into the child's ear when the head rested against the mother's body. Lower than speaking pitch, almost a drone. No record player in the nursery, no music box wound up on the dresser, just a woman's voice at its lowest register. She started at mid-breath and let it fade when the child's breathing changed. Chest vibration has been shown in neonatal research to reduce cortisol levels in infants. She was not singing to her baby. She was medicating with her own body. Number 11. The heavy blanket. Children were kept warm with fitted sleep sacks or layers of clothing, avoiding heavy quilts and loose blankets which pose severe safety risks. Handmade quilts from flour sack fabric and cotton batting. A full-size quilt weighed 6 to 8 pounds. A Kenwood wool blanket from the Sears Roebuck catalog cost $7.95 in 1955. Some families used a folded Army surplus wool blanket for $2. Tucked tight on both sides of the mattress, the child could not kick free. That was not a flaw. That was the design. Deep pressure stimulation reduces cortisol and increases serotonin. That is the entire science behind the weighted blanket industry, now worth over $600 million. The quilt was not a blanket. It was a grandmother's hands pressing down all night long. 5 tricks in, not one of them cost more than a bar of soap and a clock. And not one of them was invented. They were inherited, passed from a grandmother's house to a daughter's apartment to a farmhouse bedroom where the wind came through the screen. These mothers were not following a method. They were continuing a tradition so old that nobody remembered who started it. Number 10. The back rub with a flat palm. A slow, firm, circular rub on the child's back. Flat palm. No patting, no tapping. Just steady pressure, moving in slow circles. The child placed safely on their back. The mother's hand warm from dishwater. Circles moving clockwise. Always clockwise, though most mothers never explained why. Sometimes Johnson's baby oil on the palm. 20 cents. The rhythm slowed as the child's breathing slowed. She matched the breathing first, then slowed her own hand to bring it down. She was manually switching her child's nervous system from alert to rest. She did not read a manual. She read the breathing. Number 9. The warm milk 30 minutes before bed. A small snack at the kitchen table. Always warm, always plain, always at the same time. Warm milk heated in a small saucepan on the stove. Never boiled, just steaming. Sometimes a spoonful of Ovaltine stirred in. 35 cents a jar in 1954, a single graham cracker. Or a slice of bread with butter and a sprinkle of sugar. The tryptophan in the milk. The warmth settling in the stomach. Eaten at the kitchen table, not in bed. The snack was not nutrition. It was a time stamp. The body learned that warm milk meant sleep was 10 minutes away. The milk was not a drink. It was a signal. The signal was set. But what she said next, or rather, what she refused to say, was the trick most modern parents have completely lost. Number 8. The goodbye that was not a negotiation. She said goodnight once. She left the room. She did not come back. One kiss, forehead or cheek, covers pulled to the chin, sleep tight, or God bless, or see you in the morning. The door pulled gently until the latch clicked. If the child called out, she waited. If the child cried, she waited longer. Not from cruelty, from certainty. No second glass of water, no renegotiation. The hallway floorboards creaked as she walked away. The child heard her leave. The child learned that nighttime was safe enough to face alone, not because the mother said so, because she acted so. Leaving the room was not abandonment. It was the final lesson of the day. Number 7. Exhaustion by design. Children were sent outside after dinner. Run, play, burn it off. Come back inside when the street lights come on. The screen door banging shut at 6:30. Kick the can in the side yard. Tag in the alley, barefoot on warm pavement in July. Jacket thrown over a fence post in October. The street lights buzzing on at dusk. That blue-white flicker of the mercury vapor lamps. Children came back inside panting, flushed, legs heavy as sandbags. No structured activity. No organized sport with a coach and a carpool. Just a body doing what a body was built to do until the body said, "Stop." She did not tire them out. She set them free, and freedom did the rest. Number 6. The same story. Every single night. The bedtime story was not a new book every evening. It was the same story, read the same way, at the same pace for weeks or months at a time. A Little Golden Book, 25 cents at Woolworth's, the pokey little puppy. Goodnight Moon, pages soft at the corners from handling, the spine cracked down the middle. The child could recite every word before the page turned. She read slower than the child could think. That was deliberate. Repetition is how the brain signals safety. A story heard 100 times carries no surprise, no spike of alertness. The known ending is the permission to stop paying attention. She was not reading a story. She was reading a prescription. And the dosage was repetition. Notice what is missing from every one of these tricks. A product, a purchase, a subscription, an expert. These women solved the hardest problem in early parenthood with warm water, a flat palm, a cracked window, and the willingness to leave the room. Every one of those tools was free. Every one has since been replaced by something with a price tag. Number 5. The rocking chair. A wooden rocking chair in the front room or the bedroom. The child was held and rocked. The rhythm did the work. A ladder-back rocker with a cushion tied to the seat. The creak of the runners on a hardwood floor, 1 creak per second or slower. The child draped across the mother's shoulder or curled in the lap. Gravity pulling the child into the mother's body on every backward rock. The arms worn smooth from years of use. The runners grooved into the floor. The inner ear responds to rhythmic motion by triggering the sleep response. The Snoo bassinet costs $1,695. The Mamaroo costs $250. A rocking chair cost $12 in 1955. The technology was a woman in a chair. The power source was her own 2 feet. Number 4. The whispered prayer. Many families said a bedtime prayer with the child, kneeling beside the bed, hands folded, eyes closed. The prayer itself was a sleep cue the child's body learned to obey. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. The child's knees on a cold wooden floor. The mother's voice dropped to a whisper for the prayer. Same words every night, same posture, same whisper. It ended the same way each time. Amen. Into bed. Covers up. Light off. The mechanism is the same one behind guided meditation. Slow breathing. Lowered voice. Repeated phrases. Closed eyes. The body cannot tell the difference between devotion and deep relaxation. She taught the child to close their eyes and speak in a whisper. Everything after that was gravity. The eyes were closed, the voice was low. But the next trick was the one that modern science took 60 years to explain. And it started with a pile of laundry. Number 3. The mother's worn clothing left in the crib. Mothers placed a recently worn blouse or nightgown safely outside or near the crib where the baby could smell it without any loose fabric inside the sleeping area. The scent was the entire point. A cotton house dress or a flannel nightgown still warm from the body, draped near the head of the crib. The smell of ivory soap and skin and a faint trace of cashmere bouquet talcum powder. 10 cents at the drugstore, the child's cheek resting against the fabric. The baby breathed it in and stopped fussing, often within minutes. Maternal scent recognition is one of the strongest neurological responses in a newborn. She left a piece of herself in the crib, and the child slept as if she had never left the room. Number 2. The car ride around the block. When nothing else worked, she put the child in the car and drove. Slowly. No destination, just motion. A 1953 Chevrolet Bel Air. The low rumble of the inline six through the floorboards. The child secured safely in a car seat. Windows cracked. Cool night air. Street lights sweeping slow bands of light across the ceiling of the car. The vibration of the engine at 20 miles an hour passing through the springs of the bench seat. Around the block twice, maybe 3 times, usually asleep before the second pass. White noise, vibration, motion, warmth, confinement. The car reproduced every condition of the womb at once. No product on earth has ever combined all 5. The car did it by accident. She was not going anywhere. And that was exactly the point. Number 1. The chest-to-chest hold in the dark. She picked the child up, held them against her chest, stood in the dark hallway or the kitchen doorway. Swayed. That was all. The child's ear pressed against her sternum. The heartbeat at 60 beats per minute. The sway barely visible. Side to side, 2 inches in each direction. One hand flat on the child's back. The warmth of her neck against the child's forehead. The rhythm of her breathing lifting the child's body up and down. No clock, no counting. She held on until the body went heavy. She knew the moment by the weight. Heartbeat, warmth, motion, breathing, scent, pressure. Every single trick on this list is a partial copy of this one position. The bath mimicked the warmth. The rocking chair mimicked the sway. The worn blouse mimicked the scent. The heavy quilt mimicked the pressure. Every product ever invented for infant sleep is an attempt to replace a woman standing in a dark room holding her child against her chest. None of them have come close. It required no technology. It required presence. And presence was the one thing no company could sell, so they sold everything else instead. 15 tricks. Not one of them required a battery, a subscription, or a password. They required a bathtub, a rocking chair, a cracked window, and a woman who was willing to leave the room or to stay in it. The sleep industry did not replace these methods because they failed. It replaced them because they were free. And free is the one thing an industry cannot survive. Somewhere right now, a woman is standing in a dark hallway with a child against her chest. She is swaying, and she is not thinking about technique. She is not following a method. She is doing what her mother did, and the child is already asleep.